Where is Kirk? It's the question the captain has asked. Meanwhile, I'll round up the headline news of the past week for Star Trek renewals and release dates and tease the forthcoming comic releases.
This is Trekzone Sci-Fi News.
This is the Bite-Sized Podcast, catching you up on the latest science fiction production info. Terry Matalis, beaming into GalaxyCon for a panel led by the inglorious Treksperts, says he feels bringing Kirk's body back to Daystrom could set up a story of Kirk's return in a future Star Trek, but we shouldn't get our hopes up for a cameo in Picard. Matalis strongly suggested it was a tip of the hat to 1996's novel The Return, written by William Shatner and Judith and Garfield Reeves-Stevens, involving a Romulan and Borg plot to bring Kirk back to battle Jean-Luc Picard. It was an interesting novel, I tell you that. The former Captain Kirk himself too has weighed in, tweeting hashtag Where is Kirk and asking exactly what is Project Phoenix. Quite possibly a holographic cameo in Starfleet Academy, surely. Speaking of that series, Paramount Plus has confirmed its series order for the new show that will follow the adventures of a new class of Starfleet cadet as they come of age in one of the most legendary places in the galaxy. Alex Kurtzman will co-showrun alongside Noga Landau, who was the creator of the CW's Nancy Drew. Based on the description of the Academy reopening after a century, we can assume that the world building in Discovery's recent seasons will continue, setting us in the 32nd century. Could Trek alum guest star as holograms? Tawny Newsome, Beckett Mariner herself, has posted on Twitter that she's joining the new series in the writer's room. June 15 will see the first episode of Season 2 drop for the US, Canada, UK, Australia, Latin America, Brazil, France, Italy, Germany, Switzerland and Austria of Strange New Worlds, of course. South Korea will get the episode at a date to be confirmed. Season 3 has been teased as commencing production with no official word on renewal just yet. Now, Season 4 of Lower Decks will premiere in late US summer with Season 5 ordered. Exact timings are still to be announced, but as in previous years, you can bet that it will follow on the heels of Strange New Worlds. A 20-episode second season of Prodigy will premiere in the US winter. Co-executive producer Aaron Waltke teasing on his Twitter wild surprises and some of the boldest storytelling they've done yet, with familiar faces and new ones are on the horizon, and now is the time to catch up on Season 1. Now, since I haven't mentioned it on Sci-Fi News yet, Sci-Fi News has been off for quite a few weeks. Discovery has been cancelled, with the forthcoming 5th season to be its last. Now, for me and us here at Trekzone, it's not entirely unexpected. Larry Nemechek and I have been alluding to a 5-season run since the series triggered the tumultuous return of Star Trek to the silver screen. IDW Publishing has announced the forthcoming Star Trek comics to be released in June. New issues from the ongoing Star Trek and new Star Trek Defiance series, as well as the penultimate episode, issue even, of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the Dog of War miniseries, and the second issue of the Star Trek The Motion Picture Echoes miniseries, following a few weeks on from the premiere release of that one. It's a genre that I've got to get into, those comics, and June might well be the time to do just that. Well, members get perks. Click join under every Trekzone video to sign up and get early access and behind the scenes for less than a cup of coffee a month. For our podcast listeners, jump onto the trek.zone/support. Clicking thanks under Trekzone's videos enables a one-time contribution, while heading to the trek.zone/PayPal is the most direct route into this podcast budget. Nothing fancy, just my pure dedication to the network for a decade, the website for 2 decades. Do any of them today and have my eternal gratitude. Or simply continue watching, liking and subscribing. That works too. I'm Matt Miller for Trekzone. I'll see you in the comments. What do you think of Discovery being cancelled? What do you think of Starfleet Academy coming as a new series? And or are you excited for Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks coming up as well? Let's talk about it all in the comments down below on this video. Or if you're watching us on Trekzone TV, thanks for watching, and we'll see this episode again in a couple of hours.